All right. It says we are live. It is 5:50. It's still the 13th, and I'm still Steve JMO. And I am just praying to God right now that this stream is actually working. So give me about 1 minute right now, and just let me make sure that I am not echoing right now. So go to my videos. I'm live here. Let's. All right, so that sounds pretty good. I don't feel like I'm having an echo, so I don't hear it in the on the app, so that's a good thing. And I guess we're just gonna have to start fresh because I was about 15, 20 minutes in until someone told me I was echoing the whole goddamn time. So my apologies for that. My apologies for wasting everyone's time on that because there were about 20 people who already viewed that in fucking 10 minutes. So now I feel like an asshole. So the first thing we were talking about was I can't even remember. We were obviously talking about end times and what has happened, what will happen, and what is happening right now. And I felt like we should start on what's happening right now because, like I just pointed out, let me get back to that page on Luke 21:25. There will be signs in the moon, sun, and stars. Well, that's the new translation. There we go. There's the good one. Exactly. Well, pretty much the same thing. And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on earth distress of nations. So, if that isn't happening right now, then I'm not sure what else is, because what I was showing you guys before was proof of a solar simulator and proof, 100% proof of chemtrails in our skies. And how did I think I was going to do this here? Give me about 1 second. I think I got to go to my YouTube page, which I do. Let's not watch my live video because that would be stupid. And I don't know if you guys could hear any of that jibber jabber, but that is exactly the jibber jab I'm looking for. So let me get this screen share up. I'm just going to play the video for 1 sec so I can resend this link to all my people real quick. So give me 1 second. Let me get a screen share going. Got a screen share. Got application window. I want Chrome tab. I want footage of the simulators. Beautiful. And I think we are here. If you guys can see that. I'm new to the StreamYard thing, so I don't know how fast and good this shit works yet. So just bear with me. Not that bad of a person. And it looks like it's working pretty good. So I'm just going to put this on full for a minute. And I'm going to watch it. And you guys can tell me what you see there in the chat if you've joined already. And I will run this back and give you my take, but just give me 1 minute so I could just send the right link to the right people, because I probably have, like I said, 15 people watching a video that's about to end in 10 seconds from the goddamn lag of YouTube. So give me 1 second, watch this, give me your feedback, tell me what you think, this, that, and the other thing, and then I will be back in, I think this is about 2 minutes. So yeah, here we go. All right, so what did we see there? We definitely saw a lot. You saw that the sun has fucking rays coming out of it. You saw that it clearly wasn't a circle. You saw that there were high frequency waves in the sky. We saw many, many things there. Many, many, many things there. And God, I feel like a complete a-hole right now. I've been going live 3 times and it wasn't working. So I'm sending all these people the right link and they're probably like, look at this spamming MFer, you know. I get that a lot. But hey, it is what it is, you know. People make mistakes. We are human beings. We're not perfect. We're not materialistically and humanly perfect, but we are perfect in the eyes of God. So that's all that matters. That is all that matters. So now that I'm here and I'm back, let's go over this video and I'll give you my input as I took it. But let me just check the chat real quick. No one's coming yet. We got 2 watchers. Surprised Cold Steel Truth hasn't come in yet. He's always in there. But is there any way I could make this bigger? This is not like fucking big, but whatever. So let me just hold on. Let me just get back on the YouTube page real quick, and I just want to make sure that this is what we're seeing. So yep, that is exactly what we're seeing. Let me just full screen that real quick. You don't need to see my stupid emoji on the side over there. So there we go. That'll fix that. And let me just make sure. Just make sure. I don't know if my phone just stopped working or... Oh, it did. It did just stop working. So that's nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. This is exactly what I want you guys to see. And so again, sorry for all the buffering and all the relinking, this, that, and the other thing. YouTube is a little more complicated than it's put out to be. And the funny, crazy thing about YouTube is today I go to make a live stream video and it's asking me if I want children to see this video. And clearly I do. You know, I want everyone to see this video. I'm not like fucking like view hungry or anything like that, but I feel this shit is important. But I selected no, just because I know the second I say an F-bomb or shit or, you know, start talking about fake goddamn suns in the sky, that they're going to just pull the plug because they don't want the kids seeing that. So for anyone who's, you know, dealing with that is what it is. So, but regardless, let's get back to this. And the thing I really wanted you guys to see was the only reason I went out today. This cloud here was about, I don't know, about that big on my whole way there. And it was every color in the spectrum. It was like its own little rainbow. Let me see if I can... I didn't really do it too much justice. I think I try again. But you really can't tell from that angle. You really couldn't. You really can't. You kind of can't see it. It's a little... It's red over here, bluish green, yellow. Like it was there. Anyone who was in Western Mass today around 4:30 saw this. Actually, it was probably 4:15. It wasn't exactly sunset, but it was just about. So what does that mean for the end of times? Well, that means that there are heavy metals in your atmosphere that are projecting the colors of the rainbow. You know, that's what that means. And another theory that's been highly speculated upon with chemtrails is that they are not their sole purpose. One of their big purposes is to disrupt not just the frequencies of us humans with human interaction, but us humans to God, interfering with that frequency. And I can feel it, man. The days they spray, it's hard to keep your focus. It's hard to do anything. Today it was kind of a decent day in the morning because I get up 4:30, 5 o'clock every day, and I was out getting ready. I was out getting ready for work, getting ready for people to come in, taking a couple quick hits before it's time to go. 7:30, wasn't a cloud in the sky, but the sun starts to go down, and they go full force with the Operation Solar Shield. They're shielding the sun because they don't want you to see that right there. They don't want you to see this six-sided being in the sky. They don't want you to see the artificial sun. And as I showed in my last video, you normally get this effect when you're taking a picture of the sun through a glass lens, which is already there, not just the one on your phone, ladies and gentlemen, but you normally get this effect when you're taking a picture through, say, a car window, for say. I am outside. You can hear the wind. You can hear everything around me. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That is a hexagon. That is a hexagon. And what does that mean? That means there is a solar simulator in your sky. And let me remove the screen share, do a new one real quick. Share the screen. Yes, indeed. Go to Chrome, and looks like I'm on that screen right now. Yep. Solar Simulator US patent number 3247367A. If I didn't read that right, it's because I'm dyslexic, not retarded. Just want to put that out there. What do we have here? Look at that funny thing. Look at these funny shapes. Hexagon? Huh? Does that look like anything to you? Does that look like anything to you? Let's remove that. Stop the screen share. I think I can do this an easier way. Let me just do the whole fucking Google. There's that. Let me just make sure this is projecting on my screen real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 2 seconds. Like I said, I'm new to StreamYard. I can't completely trust it yet because I have no idea what I'm doing half the time. But, yep, that's what you're seeing, and that's what you're getting. Solar simulator proof. Solar simulator. Where'd it go? Patents. There you go. There's one. There's two. I don't know what more to say. And why wouldn't the shape of the solar simulator be a hexagon? Why wouldn't it be? You know why? Because it has to be. It has to be. 6 sides represents as above, so below. As God shall do, so shall Satan. He has a plan. He has to do everything God has done, but in his own way. And this is not nothing new. Worldwide application, 1960. That's about 50, almost 60 years ago. And the funniest part about that is that it's actually over 100 years ago. 1904, this was publicated on paper. So that means that these goddamn plans are going back way before then. Way before then. It's just ridiculous, people. It is absolutely ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me get a screen share back on. Stop the screen. Let me get a new screen, because I don't just want to share every screen right now. I want to share. Oh, excuse me. Such a long day. Yeah, I want to share that again, because that's what I caught in the sky about 2.5, 3 hours ago. But let's continue. It goes back on focus, and there you go. It's that, and it's that. Maybe my phone is focusing on 2 different objects. But look at that. Chemtrails all around, but let me do a 180 from the sun. What do you see? Not a single chemtrail in the sky. But as you move more towards the sun, the sunset, the horizon, you got this motherfucker just going for the sun, going right at it. Operation Solar Shield. Not a conspiracy theory, people. Operation Solar Shield was them telling you that they've been spraying and are going to spray the sky. It is. Look at that, dude. Exactly. I tried to wipe my phone off when I saw that because I thought my phone was dirty. But no, absolutely not. That's a solar simulator. Ridiculous. Operation Solar Shield don't want you to see the fake sun in the sky, people. They don't want you to see the fake sun in the sky. How freaking crazy is that? How freaking crazy is that? Unreal, everyone. Unreal. And you got, yep, absolutely. You got more trails in front of the sun. You have beams of light. You have 6 of them. You had 6 of them right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first time really reviewing this film. Look at that. Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ridiculous. Distorted ass looking sun. And it was hot as hell, the sun rays. Middle of fucking November. About 20 degrees outside, if that. If that with the wind chill. And the sun was literally blistering hot to the skin. And it was so goddamn bright. Even with all these chemtrails, their white fake solar shield simulator sun is so bright that I had to wear my freaking sunglasses. How crazy is that? How crazy is that, dude? So ridiculous. So ridiculous. They remove that. Stop the screen share. Oh my goodness. So ridiculous, people. So ridiculous. And like I said before, it's just the chemtrail agenda. I think one of its main components is to disturb our frequency to the creator, to disrupt it, to make it almost non-existent, to make you feel the way they want you to feel, to make you feel little and alone, small and unfucking appreciative. They want you to feel like nothing, man. So where's the real sun? Then, or is there one? Danny Pepper, what exactly are you talking about? I'm not sure where the real sun is. They're doing some crazy black magic spell. Maybe it's gone, but like I just said, maybe the solar simulator is just right in front of it, because my phone did pick up on 2 different objects. One was rather circular, and one, like we just saw, was shooting out beams. I'm not like fucking God or anything. I don't know all these answers. I could just speculate upon what I see and prove what I can, and you know, take what you can get. It's rather crazy, the world we live in, man. They have, like I just showed you, they have solar simulator patents. Let me get a screen share back on, because a lot of people don't quite understand how important this is. Like, exactly. Hexagonal sun, solar simulator, U.S. patent, was owned by the U.S. Now it's a worldwide application as of 1960. And big man, this shit goes all the way back to 1904. So, what does that say? Says a lot. Says a lot. I think that whatever they're, doing with the sun, they don't want us to see, which is why they had to launch the campaign, the Operation Solar Shield campaign. And if you don't know what that is, it's a campaign run through Harvard. Yeah, man, they're trying to hide something. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. Don't think I'm like coming at you. You're just the only guy in the chat right now, so it's it's fun to go back and forth with people like that. So it is what it is. And, you know, like I was just saying, one of the main components I believe to the chemtrail agenda is not just to cool the planet, not just to cause this fake global warming, this fake climate change, put all these fake indoctrines in people's heads, but to disrupt our frequency to the creator. Like, I don't know how any of you guys feel about that, but on days where it's a heavy chemtrail or when they're preparing for a storm, I just have the illest headache, and they're going to disrupt the frequency to God. You know, I think that's what it is. That's one of their main mechanisms. And also on top of it, you have the 5G grid coming out, which is literally the Antichrist like grid, because it's going to give the Antichrist, Satan, whatever you want to call it, once he finally gets here, it's going to give him the power of omnipresence, which we know God has because he is everywhere at once, which is also only possible on a flat earth, but that's just for a different day. The 5G grid will give Satan that power to be everywhere at once, to broadcast himself everywhere, to lay down his laws everywhere, to the all-seeing eye. You see what I'm saying? The pyramid on the back of your dollar bill is not yet complete, but once the 5G grid is intact, it will be. Oh, it will be. That's another big thing about chemtrails. You get those frequencies in the sky, they're going to be intercepting and interfering and maximizing the frequencies of the 5G grid. And living in a 5G grid it's going to be like living in one of those airport scanners. It's ridiculous. We're going to already have headaches, not like headaches, but like ringing of the ears, that high pitched noise, whatever that may be. I'm affected by that highly. But so that is all the stuff that is going on. Not all the stuff, but some big things that are going on right now that are prophesized, you know, in the Bible for the end times. There'll be signs in the moon, sun, and stars. And more on the stars part, we're gonna jump into a Rob Skiba, a live Skiba. Sorry, Rob. Into a Rob Skiba video, which I hope he doesn't mind me sharing. The link is in the description. I'm not sharing the full video as it's about a 2.5 hour presentation, but it's good stuff. Genesis revealing part 4, Rising Babylon, the first shall be last. Very good video, and I'm going to screen share, and we're going to watch probably the most important part of that video. And the thing about this video, it kind of proves against what they were saying about 2012, getting all the hype about 2012, the end of the world, 2012. Well, whatever was supposed to happen, maybe did happen, didn't happen, or as Rob Skiba is saying, happened 2 years earlier in 2010, wasn't the end of the world, but the end of the world as possibly we know it. So I'm going to get that on, and this is pretty much a breakdown of everything that happened between like 2002, 2003-ish, and 2011. So I'm going to break that in, and I'm actually going to go run to the bathroom real quick. So let me get the screen share on before I just start playing a video that you guys can't hear or see. Get my screen share, go Chrome tab, and let me just make sure you guys can hear and see this.
Yeah, basically, the United States, unfortunately, is following the Nazi playbook to the letter. So you just look at what Hitler and the SS and what they did with the Reichstag and everything that led to what they did thereafter. It's following the same formula. Now, I gave you an outline of what I was seeing in my research. Now I'm going to play a video for you that shows our U.S. presidents and mainstream news reports and things like that, illustrating what I've been talking about playing out right before our eyes.
Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
On August the 17th, 1991, Desert Shield became Desert Storm. conflict was witnessed by millions through the eye of CNN and the BBC, showing propaganda of the systematic eradication of Saddam's forces by a coalition far superior in technological, political, and economic power. The orchestrators of the war were by no means strangers to controlling major world events. In fact, they have done so for centuries. From the shadows, they have engineered every major war, revolution, and recession. They control everything you read, everything you hear, and everything you see. They have managed to indoctrinate an entire populace to their way of thinking and have infiltrated key positions in places of authority. And it is from the shadows that they have created a new political order, a new economic order, and more sinister, a new religious order. Their ultimate aim is total global domination, and they will stop at nothing to reach their goal. The goal that was outlined in a speech given by former President of the United States, George Bush.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
We talk so much about dispelling myths. How about confirming one? What is this?
Susie, this is the tomb of Osiris.
The god of the underworld, whose once extravagant mausoleum, a moat with 4 pillars engraved with hieroglyphics constructed thousands of years ago, was intended to be a shrine for the keeper of the afterlife.
Polls have just now closed in 6 additional states representing 66 electoral votes.
We must follow no other course. Now it is a seed upon the wind, taking root in many nations. We will confront weapons of mass destruction. We will build our defenses beyond challenge, lest weakness invite challenge. This work continues. The story goes on, and an angel still rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm.
Heard the first one come in. I didn't know what it was. It sounded like a missile.
Oh my God, Ed, another plane just hit the World Trade Center.
Wait, oh my God, the building fell.
We have no idea what caused this.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th. Malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame away from the terrorists themselves, away from the guilty.
On the morning of September 11th, 2001, 19 men armed with box cutters, directed by a man on dialysis in a cave fortress halfway around the world, using a satellite phone and a laptop, directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat-trained pilots on 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers, devout religious fundamentalists who like to drink alcohol, snort cocaine, and live with pink-haired strippers, managed to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes in New York, while in Washington, a pilot who couldn't handle a single-engine Cessna was able to fly a 757 in an 8,000-foot descending 270-degree corkscrew turn to come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon and the budget analyst office where DoD staffers were working on the mystery of the $2.3 trillion that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld had announced missing from the Pentagon's coffers in a press conference the day before, on September 10th, 2001. Luckily, the news anchors knew who did it within minutes.
Osama bin Laden.
The pundits knew within hours.
Osama bin Laden.
The administration knew within a day.
Terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbored them.
And the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap.
That a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that.
But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. That investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail, a conflict of interest, and a cover-up from start to finish. It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed. It failed to mention the existence of WTC-7, Able Danger, P-TECH, Sibel Edmonds, OBL and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, and as for Bush and Cheney, well, no one knows what they told it because they testified in secret off the record.
I think that we all pretty much know exactly what happened on 9/11, so I'm just gonna fast forward just a little bit of this stuff because we all know the official story of 9/11. And just another thing, I'm not promoting the sale of Rob Skiba's books or whatever, but Rob Skiba knows exactly what he's talking about, and I haven't read the book, but I've listened to a good portion of the book, and you don't even need that. If you just, the Genesis Revelation Part 4, if you listen to Part 1, 2, and 3, and then this, and there may be one or two more parts after that, you'll get a pretty good goddamn understanding on what is happening. So, we got a 2003 marker. I just hope I didn't go back too far.
Reconstituted inside of a body. And of course, I've discussed with you before.
Yeah, I went back just a little too far. So let's just go here.
Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. Then he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away. Then he lived in Abbottabad for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence dragnet, employing the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for a decade, releasing video after video with complete impunity and getting younger and younger as he did so, before finally being found in a daring SEAL team raid which wasn't recorded on video, in which he didn't resist or use his wife as a human shield, and in which these crack special forces operatives panicked and killed this unarmed man, supposedly the best source of intelligence about those dastardly terrorists on the entire planet. Then they dumped his body in the ocean before telling anyone about it. Then a couple dozen of that team's members died in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. You will never, ever express doubts about any part of this story to anyone. Ever.
Imagine the startling proposition that the Nephilim, the giants, the mighty men of old, the gods and children of the Watchers, could somehow rise up, could somehow be reconstituted inside of a body. And, of course, I've discussed with you before my theory that one of the greatest legends in history could be a record of that having actually happened. And I'm referring to Nimrod, who some scholars also identify as Gilgamesh of Sumerian fame, Apollo of Greek fame, Osiris of Egyptian fame. And this Gilgamesh was a giant who a lot of people didn't even believe was anything more than myth until his grave marker was found a few years back.
So, real quick, just to butt on in real quick, let me pull up a quick Bible verse, because if Gilgamesh is Nimrod, is Osiris, is Isis, is Apollyon, is Apollo, right? Let's, Revelation 9/11. Let me just get a good quote on this real quick. And yep. Revelation 9, verse 11. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek is Apollyon, that is the destroyer, who is also, if you look into CERN, if you look into Hinduism, is Shiva, the goddess of destruction, who CERN just coincidentally has a statue in memorabilia, what is probably a life-size statue of Shiva, because it's about 15 fucking feet tall, in their front lawn. So just wanted to butt that in real quick, and we'll go back to Rob.
And then, according to some people, the military swooped in and took possession and control of that dig.
Hey, Tom, I want to interject something. I talked to a special operations general who was there when Gilgamesh's remains, and his words were he was in a state of remarkable preservation, okay? He said they have Gilgamesh's remains. So if they have Gilgamesh and he is Nimrod, they got it. And the whole point was to extract the DNA.
When the Iraqi regime fell in April 2003, the Iraqi Museum in Baghdad
and real quick, just to interject one more time, why would they want Gilgamesh's, Nimrod's, Lucifer's, Antichrist, Abaddon, Apollo, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Why would the U.S. military, whoever they are secretly actually working for, want DNA from him? And it's just very coincidental that they found him in a perfect state of preservation.
Museums in other provinces such as Mosul, Basra, and Babel were exposed to theft for 2 consecutive days. The theft was carried out by local and international networks as well as Iraqi and Arab agents. It is estimated that 170,000 artifacts were stolen, 15,000 of which have no registration records. The most important of these artifacts are the Sumerian cuneiforms, which represents the philosophy of life and death.
Many date back to Mesopotamian times, more than 4,000 years ago.
Artifacts pertaining to the civilizations of the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Chaldeans, and others that go back thousands of years in history, were taken away from the land of the 2 rivers.
In addition, entire book collections from certain historic eras disappeared from the National Library, thus negatively affecting Iraq's wealth of civilization and culture.
One must also mention that some artifacts were stolen and sent to Israel via the American forces.
But American troops stood by as Iraq's heritage was plundered. One memorable moment that week was when Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld dismissed the looting in Baghdad as unimportant.
Freedom's untidy, and free people are free to make mistakes and commit crimes and do bad things.
Many of the looters knew which objects they were looking for and where to find them. In other words, they were insiders.
Investigations revealed that the main metal gate of the storage rooms was opened. It was not opened by force, which means
And real quick, just another thing to interject, kind of off topic, kind of not. You have all these assholes on CNN, NBC, Fox News doing this trial because there's collusion with whoever the fuck it may be. How come there is no trials upon this? There is no trials of collusion with people working for the Iraqi military who helped us extract ancient artifacts. But the real story was we were going to war with Iraq, but they helped us get these artifacts. Why isn't that talked about?
the person who knew where the key was participated in the theft.
J.P. Morgan Chase Bank led a 13-bank consortium to establish the Central Bank of Iraq. De La Rue was brought in to print up the new Iraqi dinar. This currency has some of the most anti-counterfeit measures of any other currency on the planet, and yet it is completely worthless. Its current value is approximately 1,163 to 1.
This is big. Everyone needs to listen upon this because I'm not giving financial information. This guy isn't telling you to whatever you might get from this. I'm not telling you to go buy fucking shit tons of this currency that's worth nothing right now. But it is prophesied that Babylon will rise again. And Assyria, where Babylon was, is modern day Iraq. And if they're gonna redo the times of Babylon, and they are reconstructing the actual Tower of Babel, you can look that up on your own. They are actually reconstructing it, and if they're reconstructing it, they're gonna need their currency to be the most official, and it will. I think it will replace the US dollar. I'm not saying it will. I think it will. It's speculation. I've been wrong before, but I've been right before too. So is what it is. Just listen closely, and if it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. We have plenty of more other valid points to make.
$1 US. But from 1982 until about 1993, one dinar was worth $3.22.
There are secrets that George W. Bush guards at least as carefully as any entrusted to a president. Secrets he's forbidden to share even with the vice president. Secrets he's held ever since his days at Yale, where in his senior year, like his father and his grandfather, he belonged to Skull and Bones, the elite secret society whose members include some of the most powerful men of the 20th century. President Bush has tapped 5 fellow bonesmen to join his administration. Most recently, the head of the Securities and Exchange Commission, William Donaldson, Skull and Bones, 1953. Bones is not restricted to Republicans. Yet another Bonesman has his eye on the Oval Office. Senator John Kerry, Democrat, Skull and Bones, 1966.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job.
It doesn't matter if two presidents disagree with each other. If they went to the same school and are order of the same cult, which is a very, very, very real cult, then it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you vote for because you're fucked either way. And that's what people got to start to wake up and understand. Another crazy thing about 322, Rob Skiba was talking about a blood moon that happened in 2010 at 2:22 in the morning, where the blood moon went over the constellation of Osiris, which is very, very significant because it completes the body of him. And it happened at 2:22 in the morning Central Standard Time, which would mean at Eastern Standard Time, which most people that aren't from America associate the time with America as Eastern Standard Time. So you have DC, New York City, Philly, Miami, Georgia, all these fucking places on the East Coast, which is, you know, bigger and more well known than the West Coast. It was 3:22. Just saying.
And I intend to do it. You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild. I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the red. Number 322? First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look for. Are you prepared to lose? No, I'm not going to lose.
Saddam Hussein.
War and danger. Continuing danger. Hour of danger. Very, very dangerous world. The evil terrorists. 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 Terrorists.
Dramatic changes now beginning.
That's how they get you, ladies and gentlemen. They repeat the words that make you scared. Terrorists, terror, war, ridiculous stuff. And you guys fall for it. We fell for it. This is 2004. I was fucking, 9 years old? I fell for it too. I hated those people back in the day, but now I realize I'm wrong because it was all based upon a lie.
To occur, John Kerry with 77 electoral votes, and George Bush with 66.
These men are like this. The only thing that unifies them are Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones will still keep control of the presidency.
By our efforts, we have lit a fire as well. A fire in the minds of men. It warms those who feel its power. It burns those who fight its progress. And one day, this untamed fire of freedom will reach the darkest corners of our world.
The Bible says that Iraq, which was known in Bible days as Babylon, will not only emerge in the last days, it will emerge as the wealthiest, most peaceful, most powerful nation on the face of the planet. So the question is, how do we get from the chaos that there has been over the last few years to the wealthiest country on the planet in the last days? Something must get better.
Right.
So people ask me, are we making Iraq safe for the Antichrist or safe for democracy? And it's a little bit of both.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national.
And yeah, just another hit on this fucking guy right here. People think Barack Obama was the best thing that ever happened. All these crybaby, sissy, nanny, mother, you know. Ain't gonna go too far down that road because I'll probably get hit up with a whatever the hell, you know? These people love hitting me with shit like that. But the way he says it, yes, we can. You play it backwards, just like your little Stairway to Heaven song that has that disturbing message about Aleister Crowley's shed. You play that backwards, you get that, but you play Yes We Can in reverse. It says, thank you, Satan. You can do that on your own time. I don't tolerate that shit on this channel, because fuck you, Satan.
Security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded. And those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you, Satan. With profound gratitude and great humility.
You heard it. Rob Skiba just did it for us right there. He just did it for us. Let's see if we can go back a quick second. Yes, we can, and then you'll hear it. You'll hear it right after.
That timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you, Satan.
There it is. There it is. I didn't want to play it, but there it is. I got chills up and down my arm right now. That's how like spiritually connected I am to this shit. Fucking ridiculous. Fuck you, Barack Obama, you piece of shit homo.
With profound gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States. All across America, something is stirring. It's been a whirlwind of activity these first 100 days. Finally, I believe that my next 100 days will be so successful, I will be able to complete them in 72 days. And on the 73rd day, I will rest.
What did the president and the Pope talk about this morning?
The Vatican positions, don't fall into the usual left and right of American politics. The Pope, for example, is for stronger world government. He just issued
just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded. And those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with that timeless creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Thank you, Satan.
So yeah, that sums up the spirit of the people, because they are so backwards and reverse, it would have to say that. I just thought of that and had to put that in there. Another thing, I want to see this, listen to what he's about to say again. I'm going to play it back again. Listen to what he's about to say and read the charts. Read the charts. Because 100 days in, Barack Obama goes on TV and says, I will get everything I did done. I'll get it all done. In the next 100 days, I'll get everything done in 72 days. And on the 73rd day, I will rest. 72 is a big number of Freemasonry. And it just so happened that on that 73rd day, it was a motherfucking Saturday, the Sabbath. He knew that. Why would he say that if it wasn't that?
With profound gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States. All across America, something is stirring. It's been a whirlwind of activity these first 100 days. Finally, I believe that my next 100 days will be so successful, I will be able to complete them in 72 days. And on the 73rd day, I will rest.
President Obama met with the Pope on the 72nd and the day of rest, the Sabbath. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, people. That's predictive programming. That's demonic altercation. That's demonic injection. If you can't see that, you can't see anything, people. We are living in the end times. And I thought this man was going to bring it out, but it looks like that the actor Donald Trump is going to bring it out. If not by the end of this term, by next term, because it doesn't look like anyone else is going to win. And if they do, I don't even know where to fucking go, because that shit ain't going to be good.
What did the president and the Pope talk about this morning?
The Vatican positions, don't fall into the usual left and right of American politics. The Pope, for example, is for stronger world government. He just issued an encyclical, a sort of Vatican position paper, calling for much stronger regulation of the financial world. And at the same time, of course, the Pope is opposed to abortion and stem cell research, which Mr. Obama favors.
E pluribus unum.
That was Latin. It's what's inscribed on a quarter.
Out of many, one.
Of course, the visual highlight was the president touring the pyramids, outside and in.
Purification, mummification.
Self-identification.
That looks like me. Look at those ears.
Separated at birth from hieroglyphic, but the president's guide saw another resemblance.
Mr. President, you look like King Tut. I've been told. Yes, it's true.
He should know about King Tut. Dr. Sahi Hawass oversaw scans of Tut's mummy that produced this likeness. The president's trip inspired Egyptians to display decorations calling Obama the new King Tut of the world. But even the new King Tut couldn't budge a pyramid.
That is false idolization at its primus, because King Tut, worshiping him is false idolization, and then you're going to put this guy up as him? That is like double reverse fucking, false idolization. Like, that's breaking a commandment times 2 right there.
Still, it's good practice for trying to push peace in the Mideast.
Scientists from all over the world are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday.
Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky. A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole.
Thousands of Norwegians bombarded the Meteorological Institute to ask what that light could have possibly been. Some feared it could have been a meteor, others a black hole, and there are even those that thought it could be aliens.
December 21st, 2010, I looked up and I saw a decapitated blood-red head, looked like, floating over the shoulders of Orion at 2:22 in the morning. Oh, by the way, 2:22 in the morning Central Standard Time is 3:22 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. 322 is the coveted number of the Skull and Bone Society, of which the whole Bush family has been strongly associated with, as was Kerry. 2 Illuminists. 322. What's that? A skull? A decapitated head on top of a pile of bones? 322. What was happening in Iraq at that very moment? Iraq had just announced the foundation of its newly formed government. And the entire planet, you could look this up for yourself, shook. The seismographic monitors that checked earthquake activity around the world, every one of them went into the black that night. What's going on? I don't know.
After nearly 9 years, our war in Iraq ends this month. Today, I'm proud to welcome Prime Minister Maliki, the elected leader of a sovereign, self-reliant, and democratic Iraq. In the coming years, it's estimated that Iraq's economy will grow even faster than China's or India's.
Here's my dinars. I got them.
Well, look, I
From the
can't.
Trade Bank of Iraq, the only ATM in the country.
Look, this is a country
Here we go.
that's resource-based, that obviously has tremendous aid by the U.S., but could be very self-sufficient with all these oil companies that we've been talking about that are exploring, they're about to explore there. And so I told my viewers, look, I can't fight it. I would like to know how best to get it, and it would really be great if these guys set up these ETFs all the time. How about an ETF to play the dinar? That would really be the best way to go.
For the first time in 2 decades, Iraq is scheduled to host the next Arab League summit. What a powerful message that will send throughout the Arab world. Finally, we're partnering for regional security. Just as Iraq has pledged not to interfere in other nations must not interfere in Iraq. Iraq's sovereignty must be respected. And let us never forget those who gave us this chance. The untold number of Iraqis who've given their lives. More than 1 million Americans, military and civilian, who have served in Iraq. Nearly 4,500 fallen Americans gave their last full measure of devotion. Tens of thousands of wounded warriors, so many inspiring military families.
People ask me, are we making Iraq safe for the Antichrist or safe for democracy? And it's a little bit of both.
This is an extraordinary achievement. Nearly 9 years in the making. We're building a new partnership between our nations.
America continues to maintain a high presence in the country, with the largest U.S. embassy in the world located in the capital, Baghdad, with 15,000 members of staff.
Before they leave, U.S. forces will have to transfer dozens of bases to the Iraqis and dispose of or ship out thousands of vehicles.
Sometimes it's too cumbersome to bring a lot of this equipment back to the U.S., so a lot that's left on bases. We're leaving over 500 military bases to the Iraqis, both to Iraqi security forces and also to the government.
And you already know that's what state-of-the-art technology, because that's what America deals with. The U.S. military, the government, all these motherfuckers are bare minimum 50 years ahead. And I was showing you patents the other day for weather modification that apparently doesn't goddamn exist anymore, that went back to 1811. 1811. How ridiculous is that? So they're leaving all this state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art weapon systems, all this stuff that's going to connect them to the New World Order, 5G, and that just legitimizes Rob Skiba's speculation that Babylon will rise where it fell before. And that will be the new Atlantis, the new age, the new world, the new order. Babylon Rising. And Babylon Rising is actually the name to I don't even know what you call it, a summoning, a conjuring, a ritual. I think Aleister Crowley, he ran it. I think who's the JPL guy, the Jet Propulsions guy, Jack Parsons, he was there, and one or two other guys who were very high in the quote-unquote science world, but we all know science is no more than black magic, so they were just black magicians disguised as scientists conjuring a demon. And the picture that Aleister Crowley drew, he drew what they conjured, and it looked like a gray alien. Yeah. So that is in the past as well. That has already happened. They have conjured these beings. There is the other side. There is the afterlife. This is not the end. The earth could be the end for anyone who has these materialistic, I don't even know what you want to call them, but they're just glued to this world. They need to be here. They need this place. They love it here. They love money. They love their shoes. Like that all means nothing in the eyes of God.
This is a happy occasion for all of us. It is considered one of the most important days for the Iraqi army and Iraqis, which is the day of handing over Sania base from the friendly side to the Iraqi army.
Your zodiac sign was determined by Babylonians based on what constellation the sun was in on the day you were born. But astronomers at the Minnesota Planetarium Society point out things have changed over thousands of years. The Earth has shifted on its axis and shifted us up one sign on the zodiac wheel.
Right between November 29th and December 17th, there is a new sign. It is Ophiuchus. The constellation is a dude wrestling a snake.
Birds, fish, and all kinds of creatures dropping dead. 8,000 dead turtle doves in Italy. Hundreds of birds dead in Rockwell, Texas. 500 red-winged blackbirds in Louisiana. 3,000 dead red-winged black.
A lot of fear porn building up to 2012, as you can see here too. A lot of fear porn.
Blackbirds in Arkansas, several hundred dead in Kentucky. On the fish, several hundred snapper fish in New Zealand, thousands of dead fish in Florida, 40,000 devil crabs in the UK, 80,000 drum fish in Arkansas, 2 million spot croakers in Maryland. In the last 2 weeks, this is all a sign of the apocalypse.
But as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
And what does that exactly mean? As the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of Jesus, he's saying, the Son of Man. What does that exactly mean? Well, that means that all flesh has to be corrupt. That means all men, all women, all mankind will fall from God, except for a select few. I think a total of maybe mean, I cannot completely remember. 6 people, 6 humans may have been on the Noah's Ark during the flood, and the restart was with that. So there's only going to be a select few who are going to wake up to this fully and understand that this is a spiritual battle for your souls. And I'm not no priester, no pastor, no nothing like that. I'm just a 24-year-old kid who's figuring this out as I'm going, you know? Like, I used to make flat earth videos and think Jesus was fake, you know? Now I'm over here like, Jesus Christ, you know? Like, what the hell is wrong with me? So, you know, with that being said, I think there's only a couple more minutes of this, and then we'll jump into something else.
Plans to allow scientists to create embryos that are part human and part animal are sent for approval by the official regulator in Britain.
Wow, I love that shit. And all this global warming stuff, all this climate change, all these freak storms, don't think it's because there is a global climate shift or whatever they are portraying. That Greta Thunberg, who has profited $145 million from this campaign, by the way, paid child actor. Parents are actors in Sweden or Switzerland, wherever the fuck that little shit's from. Her parents are actors, and you can't even hide that fact. And so what I'm getting at here is they're fooling you there into thinking it's something that, you know, has nothing to do with God or anything like that. But some of these things he's sending signs, but most of these freak storms, most of these Category 6 storms, most of these bombogenesises and all this other crap, they're all just man-made storms from Doppler, NEXRAD, HARP, geoengineering, you know, solar shield, cool the planet. Why do you think it's 5 fucking degrees in November right now? Give me a break.
There shall be signs of the sun, and the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, perplexity, seeing the waves roar, men's hearts failing for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. The powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Look at the size of this thing as seen from space. Records fell.
Biggest snowfall in recorded history.
And of course, man, you know, every time there's a hurricane, look at it from space. Look at the hurricane from the ISS. Look at it from the whatever, you know? Like, it's so ridiculous, man. Anything to reinforce their space agenda, which reinforces the globe, which reinforces evolution, which reinforces the fact that you came from a monkey and you don't mean shit. That's what they want you to believe. It's so far from that, ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable.
100 million people will be impacted by this storm. That's 1/3 the population of the United States.
And said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Now, what exactly does that mean? What exactly does that mean, everyone? That the days shall be shortened for the elect. Are we the elect? Are the days shortened for us? Because there are plenty times during the day where I can't believe that fucking 5-6 hours have gone by, and I feel like I've done two things. Time, I think, is an abstract thought of humans, because I don't know, time is crazy. I don't think you can go back in time, but you could literally see into time if you just look at the sunset and think in your head, I'm seeing the sun here, but someone else is seeing the sun at high noon. So therefore you could see literally into time that way, but you can't look into a crystal ball and see past events. You can't, they can. I think, how else do you think The Simpsons is predicting fucking literally things down to the detail? That's the part that gets me going. And then that just reinforces their time travel agenda, their parallel universe crap. That's all crap. There's only one universe. It's here. It is not a heliocentric model. No. It is a geocentric model where we are the center. We are important. We are made in the eyes of God, and everything in the sky at least revolves around us. Well, in the spiritual battle, it revolves around us too. There'd be no spiritual battle if there was no us, because we are here. We are like medians in this spiritual battle, and there is a lot of positive energy above us, and then there's energy below us that are pulling us down, and you have the positive energy that won't let go of us unless we let go of it. You know what I'm saying? So we all have choices to make in life, and the end of time, the end times, the prophecies, it's all right there. And that was all as of 2011. And there's so much more that has happened since then. So much more. You had 3 hurricanes combining into one 2 summers ago. 2 summers ago was crazy with events and fear porn and this, that, and the other thing. You had that Vegas crap. You had the SpaceX thing in the sky. You had the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse. That should be the biggest proof that we are not on a globe. The solar eclipse literally eclipsed the globe from left to right. But everything in the sky comes from right to left. Everything goes east to west. The sun moves that way. It seems as if the fucking stars come in from that way, at least to me. And that, the moon comes up that way. But for one random day that we're going to have this solar eclipse, and it's going to go from left to right, from west to east, started in Oregon, Seattle, Washington area, and then it ended somewhere in South Carolina. Are you serious? And the craziest part about that was, so if the Earth is a globe and the moon is however many, it's 200,000 miles away or whatever, and you have the sun that's 93 million miles away, and they're just so happen to be the same exact size in the sky that they line up perfect, it shouldn't matter where you are on the Earth. The entire Earth should be blackout because of this perspective shit that the globies love to jump on. But no, you know what it did? It was only complete blackout for about a 70-mile wide circle that went across the face of the United States of America. And in past videos, I think you can go back to videos I was talking about 3 or 4 years ago on Flat Earth, on personal speculations on how far away and how big I think the sun is. I've always said the sun is most likely about as wide as the shape of New Jersey and around 30 miles in the sky, possibly 33, because the highest known degree of Freemasonry publicly is 33. So if they worship the sun, why wouldn't it be 33 miles in the sky? And if the sun's local, it could be any size, but about the size of New Jersey represented well to me, because if you look at the path of the sun over the flat Earth, it makes sense like that. It makes sense like that to me. And come to find out, New Jersey is literally 70 fucking miles wide. That shit blew me away, and I was like, you gotta be serious. You gotta be kidding me. You know? Like, I'm not like saying I'm predicting shit and I'm right, but you know, when I'm just making observations, pulling them out of my ass like that, and then like you have a solar eclipse that's only 70 miles wide at its fullest peak, no, something ain't adding up there, and it's coming in from the west coast. So what exactly eclipsed the sun that day? What exactly happened? I'm not too sure, people, but what I can tell you is that the Earth is definitely not a globe, and eclipses don't go fucking west to east. And it should be an entire blackout of whoever sees the sun that day, not just a 70-mile whatever. But oh man, that stuff gets me going, because flat Earth is literally the biggest proof that we're being lied to, and it's the biggest proof of an anti-God agenda. Because why would you hide the shape of the Earth, ladies and gentlemen? Why would you hide the shape of the Earth? You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna hide it because the flat Earth proves that everything revolves around us. The Bible is right. There most likely is a firmament that starts out in Antarctica. You know, it proves all of that. And the sphere Earth proves that we came from monkeys, who came from fish, who came from a gas, who came from an explosion that started from nothing. The Big Bang is the only explosion in history to create matter. And we're gonna go on, and it's a theory, by the way. We're gonna hold on to that and base our whole life, our everything, our whole mathematical equations and Einstein shit upon a theory that is unprovable, uncreatable, and unrealistic. That's why flat Earth gets me fired up, because it is the ultimate anti-God agenda. Why else would you hide the shape of the Earth? Because you want to hide God. If you're going to hide the shape of the Earth from, let's just say 1450, 1470, you know, because you had sailors back in the day who were afraid to get on their boats because they thought they're going to fall off the edge of the flat Earth. So you got them. And then you got the paid scientists that are paid from the Vatican and other royal societies. They got paid to put notions out that the Earth is a globe. And let's say you find out about, I don't know, 500-600 years later that you're 100% wrong, that it's flat. Are you going to tell everyone who's already been indoctrinated to the fact that it's a globe? No, you're not going to tell everyone, because it's already going to work for your agenda. You might not have known it back in 14, whatever, 15, 16, 17, whatever, moving on. But there's always someone whispering in the ears of the elite, ladies and gentlemen. They don't work for you. You might pay them with your tax money. I might pay them with my tax money, but they don't work for us. They work for Lucifer, the fallen angel. But it is 7:04 already. I got to start getting ready for bed. But thank you for everyone who was in the chat today. We had a good little discussion. Like, share, subscribe, everyone. There was something else I was going to say, but it just left my mind. That's okay, but I'm going to get off now. God bless. You guys have a good night. And thanks for everyone for coming. And whoever sees this in the future, thanks for watching. Have a good one.